Guess what, Ray?
What's that?
We're live.
We are live. Thanks everyone for joining in. You guys will see in the comments there off to your right. If you haven't already subscribed, we have some news. We are starting a new channel. We're still going to keep the other channels. So I'll still keep the X-Ring channel. Rick will keep Is Your Six Covered. But then what we're going to do is we'll have
R squared.
More content under R squared. I don't know if there'll be as much gun content, but it'll be a lot of other good content. Yeah.
That's what we enjoy.
What's up, Blue Healer, TB, Jerry?
What's going on, gentlemen?
Jackson? Yeah, we had to run across town to take care of some business, and so we got back in a little late. What's up, Abigail?
How's it going, Abigail? Should be a good time.
It's the R squared boys.
It's I think you're gonna see Ray be able to break out of his instructor self and have
a little bit,
have some fun. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, for those that are just joining in, I did put a link up at the top up here. If you haven't
just put it in there.
Seen it yet, hold on. Let me see if I can post this.
Put it in the comments so you guys can copy that later or go over there and hit the subscribe button.
Yeah, we would appreciate it for sure.
Definitely.
What's up, Jer Bear?
Joaquin.
And Joaquin. Yeah. San Miguel. We so sexy.
You so sexy.
What's up, Robert Warren?
Tim Davis, too. You guys out there's Yancey.
Dang. Well, I really do appreciate everybody joining in. I hope everyone is doing well and staying safe and healthy. And yeah, we're a little closer than 6 feet, but oh well.
Still a shooting match with.
Yeah,
we're still good.
Oh, Lilith. Okay. Lilith's Abigail Bathory.
Okay, that's right. Yeah, I know Lilith.
But yeah, so we've been doing a lot of rimfire shooting, and we're enjoying the crap out of it. You know, I had someone comment that I really need to compare the Tikka 1X rimfire, and man, I tell you what, I looked for one today. I couldn't find one. I did find one that I'm probably going to have shipped in.
3 weeks, right?
Yeah, I could probably get a little sooner, but one of the things I was a little disappointed with is, okay, so you guys, if you shoot any 22s, you remember growing, it's Laurel and Hardy. What's up, Val? You know that a lot of them have the little tiny dovetail up at the top on the 22s, and I hate that mount system because it's really hard to put a robust scope on that, you know, because there's so little to clamp onto. On the CZ, I was able to get around that by sliding a dovetail on there from a manufacturer. I think CZ actually makes one as well. Problem is the set screws are high, so I need to cut those down. But I'm hoping to get one of those T3 or T1X 22s, and so we can do some more rimfire stuff. It's not turning into a rimfire channel, but
no, but we've been having fun.
Yes.
It is the whole fact that right now ammunition is kind of scarce. And most people collected a lot of 22 years back. You looking for your keys? So it makes it kind of nice because we got, you know, some bricks and bricks of 22, and it's cheap. And it doesn't matter if you're 5 years old, 109 years old. Shooting 22 is, I think, enjoyable for everybody. I think most people start out shooting a 22, you know, besides maybe some BB guns and pellet guns kind of stuff, but we're starting to get Netflix, somebody said.
Uh-oh.
Ray's going to say, shut it down. He's going to show you this, and I'm going to beat him to the punch. So, some of you guys may or may not know, but we actually have, I don't have anything, but this is a Silencer Co. Maxim 9. So this is basically a RoboCop gun. Let me make sure this thing's clear. All right, nothing in the mag. And I don't know if he's even going to show this. He might have shown the box. But this is a suppressed 9mm. And it is, we're going to do some reviews on that. And it's going to be a nice little pistola. So it should be fun. So we'll pretend that we didn't talk about that and see what he does. We need to invest. We can't. It doesn't matter if we had $5 billion. It's just living out here in the middle of the sticks. I live closer to a town than he does. I only live, you know, down the street basically, but I have a little bit better internet compared to some. don't know what he's doing over there, but let's see who we got out here. We got Bald and Curious, The Range. How you doing, Range? Keith Gregory, TB, Abigail. I'm gonna keep saying Abigail. Sorry, Sean McDonald, and we've got Joaquin Jackson, conservative sniper hunter. That was a great comment on that video about laying on your belly on a cold day.
Yeah.
That was who that was. And then you got crazy Scotsmans out there. You got Brian Duchesne, Keith Gregory.
Okay, Brian Duchesne. Click on him.
Okay.
So he finally got his RDS mounted at 45 degrees 0. Awesome, man. I do remember contacting you and had to use the risk mount to get the angles right. My pleasure, man. Thanks. And if you guys ever have any questions, just email me over at the xringchannel@gmail.com, and I'll always get back to every
Or
email.
now you can go over to R Squared because he'll be there too.
Correct. We are going to have some other cool things tomorrow. We've got, I can't show what's in the box, but you guys know the box. It's kind of old school, but it is the Silencer Co. Maxim,
What's up, Big Johnson?
which is the integrally suppressed 9mm pistol
I
by
kinda
Silencer
showed it
Co.
really quick, but I forgot.
Did you really?
Yeah, I did. I'm always practicing.
You didn't even wait for me. I grab it out of the
I
truck.
was gonna pretend.
Oh, jeez, you jack.
No, it was like really quick, so you can talk about it a
No,
lot.
it's okay. I'm not going to talk about it.
Oh, someone's mad.
What's up, Nathan? How you doing?
What's up, Nathan? How you been? Robert M. So,
Robert M. Thank you. We appreciate it.
yeah, if you're just getting here, we are doing. Let me paste this in here for you guys. This is a link to a new channel called R Squared. It's basically Knucklehead 1 and 2.
Yep.
And we're just having fun. You're going to see a lot more fun on that channel, I think.
Okay, so if you guys are some of you guys have heard this before. Is that
Mil-spec.
stupid pistol? Yes, it is, Val.
It is that stupid
It is that
pistol.
stupid
You
pistol.
in that chopper, Val?
It looks like the lawgiver from Judge Dredd. That's
Yes.
exactly right,
Yes.
Lilith. But and I've shot this quite a bit.
You're coming
and-
with me, dead or alive.
Okay, just making sure that was
I'm
off.
not on. I'm not on.
Yeah, so I've shot this one quite a bit, but I've never reviewed one on the channel. I never really cared for the pistol that much. But I would like to hear from you guys what you'd like to see more of on the channel, either on X-Ring or on R Squared. I do know that my biggest majority of subscribers are long-range shooters or long-range content. That's what gets the most traction. We do try to mix it up and have pretty much everything in there.
R squared equals X-ring plus 1 cos.
Who's Knucklehead 1 and Knucklehead 2? we're both Knuckleheads.
Oh, man.
By the way, on R Squared, we did upload a video today. It has some off-road footage and also some motorcycle stuff. For some of you guys, you've already heard this before.
How is that possible?
More fun than playing with all the cool toys that have been on X-Ring. How is that possible?
It's
Well,
possible.
Well, it's just a
different
lighter
possible.
side. It's a
Yeah.
lighter side. So, one of the things, and a lot of you guys have heard this. Prior to this life, I worked for BMW. I was an international instructor for BMW Motorrad. I did that for about 13 years. So I did cars and motorcycles. All my training was received in Germany, and I brought that curriculum back to the United States, and that is now taught by BMW AG. Not a dealer, the manufacturer. So there's some motorcycle content on there. There will be some training. I know there's a lot of people. What's up, Pops? I know there's like Pops Quest, like Rob. Rob grew up riding motorcycles, and there's going to be some really good content. A lot of it is going to, the motorcycle content will be geared more towards dual sport riding, off-road riding, things like that. I would do a lot of car instruction, however, don't have access to a racetrack and a skid pad at the moment. So
have you had a chance to shoot in Wolf 22?
I actually have a bunch of it downstairs, and I was going to
What
shoot
the-
some. Yeah, I actually took it out to the range yesterday when we were doing some of the videos, and I never had a chance to try it out for the groups. But I do have some of that, and I do know that with some rifles, it really, really loves it.
Old King Diamond, man. Flashbacks.
Yeah, so we went ahead and posted that up, and then the four-wheeler footage was pretty cool because he took his freaking tripod and he's got it out in the front, and it's like a joust. Okay,
I was waiting for my phone to just go zinging
and
off.
he's got it pointing at his belly,
That's
and it's
called stabilization.
And so when I'm going through the trails, like, dude, don't point that at your belly, because if I hit a tree or something, that's going to gore you. Because the trails that I have on the property are very, very narrow. I try to do that to have the least amount of impact on the mountain up here. But
Yeah,
anyway,
Jackson, Wolf 22, buddy.
yeah, Wolf 22.
Is that steel case?
No, no, I'll go get it back.
Everything else they make is steel case for the most part. So it should be fun. It should be a good time. I think since he's gone, a lot of it is he's very teacher instructor oriented, so he'll be able to screw off and have fun with this other channel. You'll get to see a lighter side of him. It'll be fun. We have a lot of good stuff that we have a lot of good video that we don't ever post because it's not it's not either educational. Me, I post stuff that's fun. I don't really care if it's something that makes me look stupid or silly. But it's all about having fun. So rifle scope talk. There's going to be everything on there. It's going to be basically kind of one of the things. We had a lot of people on the live chats. I'm trying to get it to you more. There we go. A lot of people on the live chats, and they were like, "You guys, we need to build a channel called R Squared or something." And we actually talked about it back in the day when you were working on a suppressor.
Yeah.
A few years ago.
So here's the Wolf ammo, and I'll go ahead and tell you guys, I am not a big fan of Wolf ammo unless it's like Wolf Gold. I don't shoot steel case in any of my firearms. Period. I just don't subscribe to it. This is not steel case. This is actually some good stuff. I know we have Val on here, so maybe, Val, I remember you told me you used to be able to read Russian. But I've got some. Hold on. Let's see if I can get this from whiting out so much.
Where's the?
Jeez.
Oh, there you go.
There it goes.
It says, "Get in the
Maybe-
chopper, or if you want to live." That's what it says.
Yeah. So this is some 22. I've got a ton of 22. This is some German. I think it's S. Jogging Sports.
Jogging Sports.
So when I say we've tried a lot of different 22 ammunition, I've had bricks and bricks of the specialized stuff, and
Actually,
it's hard
guys,
to get. But
this Wolf ammo. Remember, we've been shooting a ton of ammo, 22 rimfire. This stuff is very nice. Seriously, it's got a good.
oh yeah, it shoots very, very well.
I don't know how it shoots, but it's a good looking round. What he said?
Whoa, I like
Kimchi?
this one, Scotsman.
What do you say? Oh, hey Rick, please explain. 2/4. Basically, you guys got to understand that 2/4 is really half. But when you're talking in 10th mils / just having fun. And then, yeah, that's how my brain works when it's working.
Oh, okay. So Jerry Parker says made in the USA. Guys, I just looked on the back of this Wolf box. It is made in Germany. If you look right there, made in Germany. It's the other side, right there. There it is. We got to focus in. So yeah, we will try some of this. This is the match target. So yeah, it's pretty cool. I do have a lot of guys that watch the channel from overseas.
Is it?
And they were telling me I needed to try some Hornady 22. Believe it or not, I don't have any Hornady 22. I have tons of Hornady 22 Magnum, but no.
This doesn't have feet per second on it.
No, but it shoots really, really, really well. At least it has in the past.
Yeah.
In my hand shoots anyway.
God, this is a cool box. Did he ever say what this says on here?
He didn't. He might have. Where can I get an extractor spring clip for my Ruger rimfire? It looked all over. I can't find one.
Hey,
Terry, I'm going to have to recommend that you contact Ruger on that one.
Damn.
Someday I'd like to hear some stories about your travels around the world. Did you travel with your motorcycle? Yes, I've been a lot of places with a motorcycle. Typically, though, those were provided for me through BMW. So it's not like I was taking my personal motorcycle and going. However, I've done trips on my own personal BMWs up into Newfoundland. I lived off the bike for like 30 days, no hotels or anything like that. So, I mean, I've been all over. I didn't get to answer the one question. No, I have not been to Australia. I had an opportunity to go, backed out on it. I don't know if there'll be an opportunity to go anytime soon. Do they sell Winchester PowerPoints in the U.S.?
I don't know.
I don't know. I'm not
Think of that box.
Yeah, I'm not a huge Winchester ammunition fan, unfortunately.
Or primers.
Yes, I did race motorcycle. I raced everything from road racing to where you're in the full leather, dragging knees. I know Rob did a bunch of that as well. I also did enduros, hair scrambles, did motocross. There's really not much I haven't done on a motorcycle or a car.
Yeah. Do they know you used to do that too, professionally?
No, I didn't really. I mean, I kind of mentioned it, but I didn't really talk about it. Manitou. Oh, he took a 800 GS for a 6-month tour of the Western States in 2015. You know, I bet that was an awesome trip. The 800 GS was kind of like that mix between a full-on, the old 1200s, the 1150s, and the 1250s. The only bad thing about an 800 GS is they kind of suck on the interstate. They're terrible at higher speeds, and they fall flat as a pancake when they do fall over.
Oops.
What you drinking? Of course, he's drinking.
Is that the same thing as 4/8 and 8/16? Yes, sir. Yes, sir, it is. Always drinking sweet tea. And this guy's always drinking Diet Coke. That's Coke. If you go to that new channel, you'll see Pure Leaf sweet tea and a Diet Coke is the backdrop. Too bad we weren't sponsored by those guys.
I know you have no idea how much it is since both of you are semi-midgets.
Yes.
I'm not a midget. I'm an average guy. I'm
average. Just because you're like 7 foot tall. That's what happens.
Yes.
Hidden steel. What's going on?
How many countries have you been to, Ray? A lot.
This is a lot.
No party. Do you prefer Accuracy International or custom rifle builds? Okay, so Andrew, that's a great question because I've got both. I've had both. And I continue to be impressed by the Accuracy International. Now, the price is expensive, okay? And I understand that, okay? So if you get into an Accuracy International, you're going to be in that 6K range, maybe 7, depending on what you're getting. And I know on a good custom build from a great gun manufacturer or a gun builder, you can get into one for, 4,500, maybe a little less, depending on how in you are with the gunsmith. I can't say I've had a bad experience with that Accuracy International. My custom builds run really well. That's a tough one. It's a tough one. I believe if you just want a right out of the box, just stupid precise precision rifle, it's going to be hard to beat that Accuracy International. Can you get something that's a little more tailored towards you? What I don't like about the Accuracy International is the weight. It's a lot to hump around.
It is heavy. But I will say, having the AI, you can go, hey, I need to get a barrel for this.
Yeah, that is a huge benefit of it. Now, for those that have been following the channel for a while, when I won Gastonia Sniper Conference, I won a Barrett MRAD. Now, my understanding is Barrett and their MRAD just won the military contract or won a military contract with that rifle. I hated that MRAD. I had it in multi-calibers, and I never could get it to shoot crazy tight. No big thing on Barrett because I've heard they've gotten a lot better. But I actually ended up selling that rifle because I won it, and it was just one of those that I didn't find myself shooting it that often because it wasn't that accurate for me.
And if it's not accurate, it doesn't stay in this house.
Yeah. If it doesn't shoot lights out, I'm not going to keep it. Yeah. Your thoughts on Crimson Trace scopes? I have zero experience with Crimson Trace scopes.
I didn't even know the made a scope.
Do you prefer a bolt gun or gas gun?
What are we trying to do?
It depends on what I'm trying to do. Okay. For pinpoint accuracy, you're not going to beat a bolt gun. We all know that. The gas gun just has too many moving parts. Yeah, you can build some tack drivers. But in competition, it depends if I'm going to be primary shooter or if I'm going to be secondary shooter. So my preference would probably be bolt gun, but I might be a better gas gunner. I'm not sure.
Yeah, you got gas, all right.
Yeah. X-Ring 22 long rifle versus 22 mag and RPR.
Forget that question.
Oh, have any experience with a Fierce? I just put one on layaway. No, I do not know Fierce. Okay, and then Val says X-Ring, 22 long rifle, 22 mag. I'm going to say 22 long rifle just because of the choices in ammunition. I've owned a lot of 22 Magnums, and I have a slew of ammunition to choose from, but they just never shot as well as
He'd
22 long
actually
rifle.
commented, I don't know if it was on my video or your
Yep.
video, but he had asked, why not a 22
mag. It was about wind and
Yeah,
we were trying to shoot out to.
Yeah, now look, guys, that whole thing of me posting that video trying to shoot at 500 and 600 yards with a 22 long rifle, and like I said, we did make an impact out to 7. I didn't put that on the video. We had Jeremy spotting for us, but we made impacts at 600 and 700 yards with that.
I went to 5. I didn't.
And it was just to do it to see, because the whole purpose was to see if I wanted to try to buy one of those cold shot 300 MOA adjustable bases. After shooting the other day, I don't think for me it's necessary. The RPR does come with 30 minutes of angle already built into the base. So that's going to give you some extra distance anyway. And if you've got a decent scope with a lot of internal travel or internal adjustment, you should be able to go out to 500 pretty good.
Is there any tree left over? I know you were hitting a dead nuts on. What he didn't notice on that video was
I could see the target, but we had tons of wind, right? So in order for me to get that in, I had to matrix that thing around the tree to hit the target.
If you'd be a golfer, would Rick be your caddy or golf cart driver?
Actually, this guy,
both golfers.
This guy kicks ass at golf. I haven't found a sport yet besides. I'll keep it.
Back in the day, I used to be a scratch golfer.
He's a good golfer.
Couple games posted up in the 60s.
He's good at everything. Pisses me off.
I do love golf. We've played quite a few games together. My dad's the real golfer. He's the golfer.
He's actually damn good.
But I do enjoy playing golf. But if I'm going to be out on a course for 4 hours, I'd almost rather shoot. Exactly.
Where'd that question go?
Same principle.
It was a BT. Oh, this one.
What's the name of the channel? The name of the channel is R Squared. We are going to have to keep posting this in the comment section because it's such a new channel. I think when we started this chat, we only had like 13 subscribers. So you guys would be doing us a great favor.
Please go over there and get ready for the madness.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot more shenanigans, a lot more just hanging out instead of the serious Mr. X-Ring, blah, blah, blah.
He might even put his hat sideways and say, "What up, yo?"
What about cornhole? Yeah, come on. We live in Western North Carolina. There's everybody plays cornhole around here. It's like every other house you go to, they're selling cornhole boards. That's it. I think that's how people make a living.
Cornhole game.
Okay, I've not used the LaRue BMT triggers. I'm not a big fan of Geisley triggers. So when you compare it to the SSAE, if it's anything like it, I probably wouldn't. There's really only 2 triggers that I use a lot, and
the diamond one's nice.
Yeah, the Trigger Tech Diamond is a great trigger. Okay, I will continue to say that. I still feel like that is the best precision gas gun trigger. I do for competition, like if I'm going to do 3-gun or something like that, I'm probably going to stick with the Hyperfire. Like they used to call it the Eclipse or the 24C and all of those. It just has a good feel to it.
That was your go-to until that diamond came out.
Yeah, exactly. And even though the Hyperfire is a great trigger, you can only set it so light. Where that Trigger Tech Diamond, you can really make it a precision trigger.
So marbles, Jack?
I've played a lot of marbles.
You got a bunch of scrambled marbles.
I'm also good at tennis, believe it or not.
I
actually had a scholarship in college for tennis.
He's lived like 12 lives.
That's what I said. If I die tomorrow,
I will tell you, there's only been a few instances where
I've seen Ray get like super excited. One was when I brought this rifle out of my closet and he's like, and shot this thing. He's like, "Damn, this thing shoots good."
That was the one with the Lothar Walther.
Yeah. And then, I mean, he went over and made hand loads for it to try to. So there's one instance. And then another one is that trigger. I remember watching your video because I wasn't there that day when you were using that.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I can tell Ray really likes this trigger. And you've loved that thing ever since. You've tried it.
All right. So Shibal Siki says, tennis rackets do you use, Wilson or Babolat? all of my rackets downstairs are actually Vocals. I don't even know if they're still in the racket making business, but I played a lot and I broke a lot of strings, so I have the Vocal rackets. Believe it or not, Corey Campbell with Microtech, he's actually a phenomenal tennis player as well. And we're talking about levels. If you're USTA rated or anything like that, I was playing to a 5.5. If that gives you any indication for those that know and those that don't. But Corey is up in that level, and so we do hit together. And I know he just got some of the brand new Wilson rackets, and they are pretty darn awesome.
What's up, Bad Billy? There was one question.
When that shooting platform falls in under 6 months, call a real builder.
Val, come on, give it up. I mean, it's not going to fall down. It's not going to break. It's in the woods. I know you just busting our balls.
If I build it, it's not coming down. It's over-engineered. Will you be running 110 or 125 green through it? I don't know what he was talking about. DW, what's up, buddy? Maybe you put it right here, 300 blackout, 9-inch barrel with suppressor. Mystic X, building another upper for it to switch out with the Aero Precision lower.
Yeah, it sounds pretty nice, DW.
Yeah, it does sound
JP
nice.
Competition 3-port compensator, yep. That's a good build, and what we're doing is reading back on DW's section. I guess he's building up a 300 blackout. X-Ring, do you know John Landell? He was from Czech, #1 at his time. No, I do not.
Hey, Val, did you actually really know what this said or no? I mean, we can put it. I really want to know what it says. It ain't going to work either.
You got to go further left. There you go.
There we go. Val, what does that say?
Lendl.
Oh, yeah, Ivan Lendl.
I don't know him, but no, I am married. Happily married. Met my wife in college, and we actually just celebrated 26 years together. Yeah, Ivan Lendl.
Yeah, he has a great wife.
I did string my own rackets. I had a Babolat VS stringer with the little electromagnetic deal, and I always strung my own rackets. I actually made money in college stringing rackets. Do I have any tricks up my sleeve when it comes to reloading? Believe it or not, keep it simple, Thomas Teak. Okay. I do see a lot of guys that find a load. I don't continually chase loads while hand loading. Okay. I haven't done a lot of hand loading here recently. Worked with Rick, and he already knew how to reload, but just kind of showed him some of the finer points of reloading. So I found something that works decent, I leave it alone. Okay, I don't keep trying to pursue different powders, different velocities. If I have that velocity that I'm looking for that will get me the distance that I intend to shoot that cartridge, then I'm good to go. Just keep it simple. Do all the basic things. I'll tell you, one of the best guys that's doing it now that I've seen that I'm friends with is Todd with Elster's Rifles and Reloading. He does some extremely good videos on everything from, annealing to bumping the case, case necks back, all of that, and does it in a way that really makes sense and it's easy to watch. So he has a tennis school at least used to about an hour from me. Yeah, I don't doubt it. Actually, growing up, I went to Bolletary, Nick Bolletary down in Bradenton, Florida. So that was where I think back in the day, Celis and Agassi and all those big names came from. We would see them out there always.
There's a link again.
Okay, so Brian says something about where they bump fires or actual doubles. Sean McDonald says barrel manufacturer recommendation, $400 to $700 range. That's a big range, Sean. It really is. I will tell you that I'm big on proof barrels, but at the same time, I am a big fan of Bartlein barrels. Okay, I've used a lot of Kriegers, Schillens, Douglas, Lilja back in the day, but here recently, over the last, I'd say 5 years, it has been exclusively proof or Bartlein that's pretty much it. I don't think you're going to go wrong either way, and you're going to be well within that price range for most, unless you opt for, like a carbon wrap proof. Your thoughts on 338 Lapua Magnum? I think it's a great round. I love it. The only problem is where we're at down here. It's hard for us to find any ranges. I've had 338 Lapua Magnums, one of them being a Barrett, and I ended up selling all of them because most of the ranges don't allow 338 Lapua around here, and because it damages the steel. And on my property, I don't have that kind of distance. Just because the way the layout is of the mountain, I can't do it.
Got a shooting platform now.
Yeah. Faxon does now make a 300 blackout match barrel 16-inch. Okay, nice to know. Good to know.
There's a lead mine at 44.
How about benchmark barrels? I've never used those.
I've heard of those, but I've never tried them.
Yeah, other than the ones that I just mentioned, being your Kriegers and your Bartlands and your Proofs, I really haven't messed with many others. There was a stint there where I did get some
Lothar Walther.
Wilson Combats. Yeah, Lothar Walther makes a good one.
Yeah.
She's all good. The watchdog's going crazy. What's up, Kevin?
What's up, Kevin and Terry? Transonic and what your bullet is doing.
Okay, so basically, if you think about you shoot supersonic, okay? And supersonic, yeah. Supersonic means you're going faster than the speed of sound. Now, the speed of sound is not an absolute. That is going to be something that's going to change based on everything, your environmentals, your density, altitude, and everything else. So the way it's been explained to me and the way that I understand it, and if I'm wrong, someone correct me, you have not a cartridge, but you have a bullet that's traveling along. Let's say it's traveling along at
2 billion miles an hour.
Let's say it's going above the speed of sound, whether that's a 6.5 Creedmoor, 308, or whatever. As it starts to get back into below the speed of sound, it is going to start going, before it goes subsonic. Remember, it's supersonic, then you have subsonic. It's that range where it's transitioning from supersonic into that subsonic range. And that's when it can lose stability, is going into transonic. Now, I'd like to hear you guys comment on this if you guys have, or if it's been explained to you any other way. But basically, think of it as I always try to use analogies. Think of it as a capsule in space re-entering back into the atmosphere. Okay. Now, it's not dealing with that kind of heat or anything else, but it's going into an area where it's going to meet, it's coming below the speed of sound. I don't know if you've ever seen the planes where they're breaking the sound barrier. And this is really important when you get into suppressors and whatnot, because I've done so much with suppressors.
Your helper's not helping much.
I know, he's killing me.
Damn you, Kevin!
He's distracting me. If you've ever seen something when it's breaking the speed of sound. So let's say you're shooting something and it's suppressed and it's kind of quiet. If that bullet passes by him and he's 300 yards down range.
Todd's here. What up, Mr.
What
Todd?
is up?
You guys get a chance, check out Elster Rifles and Reloading.
Todd, we just mentioned you just a few moments ago.
And it was not good, Todd. Not good at all.
No, it was good. Someone was talking about reloading, and I told them to check out your channel because your instructional videos are really spot on. I'm not doing as much reloading as I used to.
Yeah, you're the man to watch.
Anyway. Well, see, Alaska Andy, you can't say it's 1125 because it changes, okay? Environmentals will change that. So, it can vary on the speed of sound depending on air density, altitude, and everything else. It's not an absolute.
There's WTF.
A lot of people would say it used to be 1,180 feet per second. But like I said, when you start playing around with the Kestrel and noticing what's going on with the environment, it does change.
Yeah, altitude.
Okay, I'm trying to catch up with the comments here.
Density.
Unfortunately, I do not have an XDM 45 10 millimeter. I'm sure it's got a good one.
I carry a 9 millimeter. Bad Billy might. He's a big 10 millimeter guy.
Ray, make me a moderator. How do we do that?
We have to do it on YouTube. We
Okay.
can't do that right now.
Yeah, we will make you a moderator, SoCal, as soon as we figure it
I
out.
think the only way to do it from here, this will time up. Right?
String twister, yes, but we're further west, and that's for both of us. He actually lives. You live a little further south. Yes, he's
yeah.
south. What about the speed of light? Does that have an effect on a bullet? Nope, it does not, as far as I know of. You're not going to be shooting anything that fast.
It actually could.
Really?
The reason why?
Yeah.
If you take all the scientific mumbo jumbo and you try
Try to do it in the dark, you probably aren't going to hit the target. So if there's no light, it's going to be dark.
Burnsville. Okay, awesome.
String twister.
Yeah, string twister. That's pretty good. You know, you've got some long range. You've got a long range facility out there. I think Big Ivy Guns has 600 yards. They keep saying they're going to get 1,000, but every time I call them, they've got a reason why they're not doing it. I think it's because they're saying the road's washed out or whatever. But supposedly they're supposed to have, standard atmospheric conditions, sea level at 59 degrees. There you go. But we're not at sea level.
Buddy D coming in with the answer, baby. But that's at sea level.
Okay, so yes, I do have the review coming on the Velocity trigger. Jer Bear, I do appreciate you asking. I've got a Velocity trigger that I just put in an AR. Now, Velocity Triggers is basically a spinoff of the brother from Timney Triggers. So I am looking forward to it. It's the 3-pound. 600 yards, I can shoot that behind my house.
And there's this.
Yeah, that's cool.
Judge.
I thought you had a Glock in 10 millimeter. Oh, he's asking Bad Billy. I don't.
He used to. He actually traded that one in. I know this answer. He traded that one in and got the Kimber.
He was going to trick it out and do a bunch of stuff to it. And then he's all, by the time I put all this money into this Glock, I should have just bought the Kimber I wanted. That's
yeah, and then SoCal.
That's the answer.
I need to, before I jump on this, Conservative Sniper Hunter wanted to ask SoCal if he's been watching any of the Aussie 4-wheel drive videos. You sent me more than I could send to John. I haven't sent him the last batch that you sent me, so I will get on that.
There's some good ones. I watched a couple that he had sent.
Ray, the velocity I ran today in 300 was 2-shot bursts from factory today. Oh, okay. Velocity makes a really good trigger, AR trigger for PCCs. I know they had just come out with one. You know, if you just an SR-71, you could go faster than a bullet.
Ammo box in Russian says something like a hunting caliber 5.6 steel case.
So Tim Davis speaks Russian. Either that.
Tim Davis is just one smart dude.
Yeah.
He could know Russian, but I just know he's straight up smart.
You know, I do want to post this because
isn't even open.
Okay, so Val says you'd be surprised 600 is boring now. I still remember 2 years ago going out with Val out to Vegas with SoCal, KB32, and it was the first time I think he'd ever shot long range, and he was shooting targets out, 1,200 yards or so. And then he got the bug. He bought an RPR, and I think he got the red edition. And 600 is boring. Once you start doing long range shooting, 600 is almost like, and we're talking, guys, the only way you can challenge yourself is to make the targets smaller and smaller.
And they're small at VOD. When you guys are seeing us hit out to 7, there's a 10 inch by 10 inch, which isn't crazy small, but at 700 yards, it's pretty small.
Yeah, so Todd, I think you missed it. We were talking about the triggers. He says best trigger hands down the Hyperfire competition. Then again, it's 250. It's 250. I've been running Hyperfire, believe it or not, since it was invented. I did know one of the owners of the company, and he used to be really gracious with his triggers. And so when it morphed into the 24C, into the Eclipse, and all that, those were the latest, greatest, Todd. However, I do strongly urge you to get your hands on a Trigger Tech Diamond. I think you will change your opinion on that. It is now the new trigger.
Do you know this guy?
Oh yeah. So Doug. Good to hear from you, buddy.
What's up, Doug?
So I grew up with this cat right here. He has a lot of stories that we are not going to talk about ever.
Is that the guy that lives in the mountains down there?
No. Super knowledgeable guy. He used to work. We're not going to talk about too much of his work history or anything else, or what he's done. But he did do a bunch of work for the Crane Division guns. That's all I can tell you. Some bolt guns.
And
stuff.
he's saying it. So this was back in the day. We built a range at a gentleman's named Lloyd that had 400 acres. He gave us use of the property, and we used to shoot out there quite regularly. And I remember back in the day when I thought 300 was far, but this goes way, way, way back.
Did you put a 2-stage in that? What, Timney or Jewel trigger? PRS though.
PRS rifle.
I like 2-stage stuff.
Oh, man, conservative sniper hunter, can you not get the trigger techs? This actually came up when I was at the Burris Elite, or the Bushnell Elite, and one of the guys I know that does a lot of PRS shooting, we talked about those 2 triggers that you just mentioned, and he says he loves the trigger tech better than anything. We were going back and forth on that. Kevin Roberts, I tried that and I got all over it. I really did. 500 I could do.
Did we ever post that video?
No, we didn't. We didn't.
That was fun.
Yeah, 4-inch gong at 600 is fun. 10-inch not so much. And you're exactly right, Sean. Typically, we're shooting a little over 6-inch target. I mean, it's an odd measurement. I think it was somebody cut it in their shop and had their measurement wrong. But it's just over 1 minute of angle. So it's 6 point something inches. On the one that we go out there. 4 would definitely make it more challenging. There's no doubt about that, but that's exactly it.
Skinny Sammy at 550.
It's 4-inch.
Yeah.
Yes, we have it at 575. We have a 4-inch steel. Now it's 14 vertical, but what really gets you is the wind.
That one I'll waste some ammo on. Usually takes me like 4 or 5 tries.
Tim Davis, I live too far from Crane. DARPA XM3. There it is. Yeah, so this is the project that Doug worked on. He was one of the builders there. Yeah, very, very, very knowledgeable individual. We definitely go way back. For PRS, I would choose Timney over the Jewel. Calvin Elite's a great trigger out of the 2. All right, great.
$50.
Great input there, $50. All right, just trying to catch up on everything. For the Trigger Tech Diamond, do I use the flat or the Pro Curved? I do the flat. I do have a preference for flat triggers. I don't know if it's just because of the way that tangent point is with my finger and just hitting on that flat surface, but most of my pistols now in the 2011s are going to have a flat trigger. I prefer them now. All right, sorry, just trying to get caught up, man. I appreciate everybody joining in. We got 84 people watching.
You guys,
it's pretty good as late as it is.
We got a new channel out there, so check it out.
All right, so this was from Val. He says some half Jackie Chan guy infected me with long range bug 2 years ago. Well, I appreciate that, Val, if you're talking about me, but I think you are. It is a lot of fun, but the challenge is finding a place. Unfortunately, I'm working on it right here. And when I say right here, I'm just talking about just on the back side of my property. I actually showed Rick. It's like, that would be like heaven. I could do 2,000 yards out here.
Oh, yeah.
Just on the back side. But the problem is I've got to get permission from one guy.
Oh, is it one now?
Yeah, it's one because the other one would definitely do it. But because I have to cross his property to get to it.
Waiting on that?
I don't know.
Why don't you guys tell him to get his butt going and let's get
it's 5 minutes from the house.
Hey, the thing that X-Ring keeps posting, which is we're just clicking it.
He's clicking it.
That is the new channel. If you guys are interested, go check it out. Go subscribe. Hit the subscribe button. Why not?
So, String Twister, great question. Are you going to change the barrel on your Ruger rimfire? Absolutely not. I'm not going to mess with it. I did talk to Todd quite a bit about it. I did a bunch of reading, and the guys that are spending the money on the premium barrels are not really noticing any noticeable difference.
And the results are worth it. Same with the trigger on that RPR as well. What?
Originally, he was known as KJ. That is exactly right, but I will not say that on this channel. Drag the wives out for a range session someday.
They won't.
My wife will not. She will shoot
her personal pistol like a couple times a year, and that's about it.
She hears us shoot enough.
Do you want me to talk to that one guy? No, I can handle the talk. I just want to be careful because I really don't have any neighbors, and I don't like infringing on anybody. And it's one of those I would just need to talk to them and say, look, is it okay?
Yeah, we missed you, SoCal.
Yes, we do miss you, Nathan. Appreciate it.
Yeah, appreciate
for
it.
subbing to the new channel.
We'll put some videos out there. We got one out there. Actually, we already have one made to
Yep.
go on there.
Yeah, we already put one on. We already have another one. How do you time a 300 blackout, Brian? Okay, so this is for Brian in the group. Hey, X-Ring, Total Alpha, do you do any progressive reloading for pistols or AR plinking ammo? Yes, I do have quite a few Dillon 650s. Had a 1050 for a while. Had too many issues with it because it's fast. You're not going to beat a Dillon 6 or 1050. But the problem is when something gets out of sync or something doesn't work, you're down for 10 or 15 minutes from what I found. So
650 is easy.
yeah, it had an auto bullet feeder, it had everything. And I was like, you know what, heck with this. So yes, I do use a progressive reloader, the 650s. I have one set up for 9, one for 40, one for 45. And you guys might say, well, why do you need so many? When I decide to reload, I want to be able to just go down there, boom, knock it out. I don't worry about changing shell plate holders, powder dumps, anything else. So
the question should be, why do you only have 3? And the answer should be
because I just sold one. I just sold one.
Yeah, that because I don't have room for.
So for pistol only, I do not reload rifle with a progressive. If I'm going to reload centerfire rifle, I always do single stage, single loading.
With the diamond scale.
We would like to hear the ladies in. My wife will never get on this.
Yeah, mine either.
Matter, doesn't your wife keep you from getting your kids on here too?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Until they turn 18.
Yeah, until they turn 18.
Which is stupid because they have Instagram and shit.
Anyway, so I don't know what I don't know.
Thank you, Walt.
It makes no
Appreciate
sense to me, but whatever. That's what she wanted, so I agreed to it. Accuracy issues with 300.
More videos of YouTube shooting pistols from One Wheel Skateboard thing. Got it downstairs.
The one wheel, yeah. You're gonna probably see that coming up.
Tell us the good and the bad and the ugly about you guys.
The good, the bad, and the ugly. Okay, I'll start. So did fire service
For 31 years, and I just got laid off. So
Yes, he did.
I told him I'm not coming back till all this virus stuff's done, and I'm not really I'm officially laid off, but I'm on a furlough, what they call it. So they basically take you off the books so you could collect unemployment, but you still have your health benefits and all that kind of stuff. So, and I don't mind, honestly. They're the organization that pays for our fire station is basically a lot of it is closed down. So the infrastructure is going to basically slimline everything, and they've gotten rid of a lot of people in a lot of different departments. So it is what it is during these times. So
Now, weren't you ready to retire anyway, or thinking
yeah,
about it?
I already did 31. So I was getting tired of going back and forth. Well, those of you that don't know me, there's probably quite a few because this is your channel. But I worked for a fire department, or I worked for a fire department in California, Southern California, and then I'd fly back and forth. I've been doing that for 5 years. Worked there 21 years, and then I worked for the California Department of Forestry and Fire Protection, which is Cal Fire now. They renamed it since I've left, but did that for 10 years. So I have 31 years in the fire service. So that's some of my good, bad, and the ugly. Well, this is the ugly.
Oh, my dad will get this joke if he's watching. I used to be a commercial roofer. There's an inside joke to that. So it was one of these. What was the editorial that they had on in the papers? It was a something Jane.
Dear Jane.
Dear Jane. And it's like, well, my brother, was convicted of murder. My sister's a prostitute, and my oldest brother's a roofer. Well, I just started dating this girl. Should I tell her about my brother, the roofer? So he would get that joke. All right, rough crowd.
Anyway,
Well, they won't even be able to laugh. It wasn't that funny though, but
yeah. Well, it is. If you know the reputation of most roofers, yeah.
oh, gotcha.
Yeah, there you go. So Brian says you get $600 a week from federal government in addition to your unemployment from the state of North Carolina.
Yeah. Yep. I have to. I'm gonna actually. I think Monday apply for that.
I still got a couple checks coming from work, so I think if you're collecting money still, you can't really officially file for it. I don't know how it works. When I was a seasonal firefighter back in 90, 91, because the state would hire seasonals, and basically what that was is it was our Schedule B portion, which did all the wildland firefighting. Um, you were on a seasonal basis. You worked 9 months out of the year. I did, kids.
No.
Yeah,
my dad's watching. But anyway. He always.
You know what? I know. I gotta do this.
That ain't gonna help.
No,
anything.
it's not gonna help anything. How do I hide?
You don't. You just
No.
move on.
Okay.
You
So
just-
anyway,
you just keep talking. Damn trolls.
yeah. Let's see what else.
So-
I did build architectural skylights for many years, large scale architectural skylights. Kind of ran my own crews across the eastern part of the country doing that.
Steve Mixbag's got a question here.
So I guess you could say I was a glazer. The mic is cutting in and out. There's no one on the internet.
What's this say? After a lot of testing, I found 100 grams of fluoride and 167 subs.
there's
Okay.
a lot of fans of the
Yeah.
300 blackout.
Yeah, 300 blackout for sure.
Yeah. You'd be amazed if you haven't seen that video how many sheets of drywall, a full
Yeah,
metal
thanks, Dave.
jacket. That was a sorry. That was a sub. Thanks, Tim.
Electricians are weird. They always want to check your shorts.
Eric, when are you unemployment? They ain't going to enforce looking for a job.
I'm gonna go look Monday. I don't know if I have to go to an office or do it online. I don't know. I haven't been. Well, that's what I was getting to with my thing. When I was a seasonal firefighter in the 90s, they would hire you for 9 months and then fire you basically to get picked back up again. And that was the last time I remember going to unemployment. It was 31 years ago. So
Yeah, it's kind of crazy for me because with you guys that follow me, I signed on with Microtech this year in January. They offered me a position and doing some things for them, and then doing videos on their Microtech Knives YouTube channel. And so we've been religiously putting out videos. I think they release them like every Tuesday. So I've been working with the guys there. But the Bradford facility got shut down because of Pennsylvania, and they didn't consider them essential. And then the North Carolina facility shut down about a week ago. Talked to the owner this evening. Actually, Rick and I went over there this evening and spoke with him. And Nathan, I've done a lot. But I was answering Nathan there. But yeah, he doesn't know what's going to happen. Doesn't know when he's going to reopen. He said he'll definitely let everyone know by email. There is a way for us to come back in as essential business, but I think it's one of those things we have to look at.
Look at John. What the F?
What the electrician? That's just wrong. All right, this guy right here is awesome. He is. I still have to take him long range shooting one day. And a heck of an electrician.
Do I know him?
You do not know John Kreiderman. And Jackson, you are dead on the money. 186,000 miles per second. That is going to be the speed of light. All right, so Elfster Todd says, got an idea for your new channel. Ray starts drinking iced tea and Rick starts drinking Diet Coke and see who can go.
No.
Absolutely not. It will never happen.
He'll throw up.
I will throw
and
up
I'll
if I have that
probably
much
shit myself, one of the two.
sweet tea. I can't do
He
it.
tried drinking one of my bottles I left here. One of the small ones.
Oh yeah, he left one in the cooler. It was a little mini bottle. It was like an airplane bottle. And I tried to drink. Yeah, it was in the cooler in the back of the Ranger. And I was like, I don't know how he drinks. Goes the longest without peeing. That would be me. This guy right here, once he has to go to the bathroom, true story. We were going to the Iraq veteran 88 shoot. And I'm driving along. He's like, I got to pee. I'm like, dude, there's nothing for like the next 30
All
miles.
I needed
He's
was
like, I got to pee like right now.
Was a stop.
And I was like, all right. So I pull over. It took a little while, but I did pull over. He's on the side of the road. He's peeing. I'm like, geez, we're on the side of the interstate here. He gets back in the truck. We're in the truck no longer than 15 minutes. He goes, I got to pee again. I was like, you're serious?
Yeah, I got to pee again.
I drink
He
a
goes,
lot.
actually, his saying is, once you break the seal.
Yes. Yes. Hey, Bad Billy bought a 550.
Nice.
Oh, nice. Good
Now you
job.
can load up that 10mm Trey Orr.
Trey Orr says, any reason you know why a 223 wild groups are not near as good as 223 or 556 barrels, all the same length and make? I do not, and that is the first time I've ever heard that.
See, I've heard that before.
Really?
Yeah, and that's the reason why I would
Never get a 223 wild.
Yeah, I've had a lot
of people
Wildy
have
or
a good
wild
time.
chambers,
Yeah.
and I've never had any issues with them.
Fresh Vala, what's up?
Maybe play around with some loads. I don't know if you're doing any hand loading or anything like that.
A lot of people saying.
I don't know what Jackson said that he's responding to, but I'm trying to find it.
New York has an option.
Do you offer individual reading sessions? I'm not for if you're allowed to get some pistol.
Reloading sessions?
I don't know. I don't think he means reading.
Reloading? Where's it at?
I would love to get some pistol and AR training. Yeah, we could probably do that. It would have to be at Old Fort, but I don't know. Right now, there's some. Look, I get along with the guy at Old Fort. Super, super great guy. Good range. The problem is he doesn't want anyone stepping on his toes there, and I don't feel like teaching here is going to be a good option. So we'll talk later about that. If you're not going to suppress 300 blackout, then I personally just get a 7.62 Ultra Cheap Wolf. Was getting I'm going to say I would, and this will be the first time I've ever disagreed with Todd. I like the versatility of the 300 blackout because I can go supersonic. Well, he did make the caveat if you're not going to suppress it. If you're never going to suppress it,
if you don't have a suppressor, you can't have a suppressor.
Then I am going to agree with Todd on this. I'm going to recant on that because of his first statement. Yeah. No, it's just, like I said, I've never disagreed with him on anything he's ever posted.
Smart guy.
And I do keep it 300 blackout here, a couple of them, but for home defense. But the beauty is you can suppress it, and it is so darn quiet, but you can do. No, that was different ammo. That's a special ammo. 300 blackout.
Special.
It's special.
Yeah, I was like, what you got in there?
That was actually something that's not commercially available. Conservative sniper hunter. No, it's not a hand. Well, it was okay. Yeah, there you go.
I mean, and Rick, what will happen? Barrel is stupid accurate.
It's not quite as accurate as 223. Okay, so maybe this is something I wasn't aware of. I guess a lot of guys are commenting that their 223 wilds are not as accurate as their dedicated 223 or 556.
I have heard that. R-Square, there's a video going around that says the Bud Light flu is made
up. It's all from the effects of RG. No, but there is effects going to happen and take place with that. I watched a video a few years ago. It was a person that either worked for Verizon or AT&T, and he was telling us, or he was telling the video, whoever's watching, that there's going to be some massive effects because the way you have to have a lot more cell towers within closer proximity because it doesn't, I don't know, span as far or whatever, some crazy, radio talk. But he says that whatever that wave is a lot more potent to the actual brain. So we'll see. I don't know. It could be all rumor too. I don't know. No, but I think this coronavirus thing is not. It's not BS, guys. I think there's going to be some. There's going to be some troubled, tough times coming. That's even a lot worse than now.
Yeah, and I'm gonna have to agree. I'm not gonna get into the whole conspiracy theories and all of that, but I believe we'll see some significant numbers. I mean, understand its underlying conditions and everything else, and that most people that are healthy will be able to work through it. But yeah, it just seems today was really odd because we did have to go out to go pick up something, and I had to meet my boss. But
There was a lot of
there was a lot of traffic
there
today,
was a lot.
like business as
On
usual.
my way here, you had a small group of, say, I think it was 15 bikers cruising.
Yeah.
And a lot more cars than I ever seen on the road in a while.
Yeah, just driving by the Lowe's, it's like there wasn't even an empty spot.
Yeah.
I do prefer M-Lock over Keymod.
And the Ruger RPR's got it.
Yeah.
So does the Tika.
I'm not going to sell a gun just because it has Keymod on it, but if I'm going to purchase something and I've got the choice between a Keymod or M-Lock, I would prefer the M-Lock.
You're only
I think
gonna
it's just
sell
cleaner.
it if it doesn't shoot half MOA.
Yeah, if it's not
one,
a shooter, I
you'll
won't.
say one, but it's really half.
What's the
Oh, man,
best
it keeps
hot
skipping.
load you've ever done, and what type of powder did you use?
That would be for 6.5 Creedmoor. This is from TB. What's the best hot load you've ever done, and what type of powder did you use? It was actually a load that was developed by SoCal. We did talk about it once on the channel, but I don't feel
It's
comfortable
hot.
giving that out because it is hot, and for most guns, unless it's an Accuracy International, you will blow primers like crazy. And it's a great
Hopefully
load.
Just primers.
It will stay supersonic all the way out to a mile.
Supersonic. 5G towers need to be about 500 feet apart, Tim says.
Double F.
Okay, so Terry Williams, I made someone mad the other day by saying that the red dot is the horse and buggy of the AR. What's your thoughts on that?
Horse and buggy.
Terry, I'm going to, depending on the context of your question, if you're saying horse and buggy, meaning that it's outdated, I would disagree with you. I don't think there is anything faster than a red dot, specifically, and I don't use them, but specifically in EOTech. Okay. The viewing platform, look, just hear me out.
I'll be over here.
Guys who know, okay?
I don't know shit.
If you're using one for work, there is nothing faster than EOTech. You have a bigger viewing window.
That I agree with.
You have a very defined center dot that is smaller than most of your aim points and everything else. That being said,
Larger window.
I hate EOTechs, okay? I
Oh.
don't. I think I own one. And no, I don't own any EOTechs at all. And it's because they typically have problems sooner than anything else that I've ever owned.
You're an aim point guy.
I am a 100% aim point guy. When I shot 3-gun a lot and competitively, I always shot factory division, which is the hardest division.
It is.
You have to reload more, and you can only use a dot. Now, that being said, you're competing against guys that have an open division, whatever power scope they want, and a red dot, or practical or tactical division. Those guys are going to have a 1-6, 1-8, whatever. You're not allowed to use a magnifier. You can only use a dot. I have no problems hitting targets, and these are smaller targets out to 500 yards.
Seen that all day long.
Okay, so the low power variable optics are great. They're awesome, no doubt about it. But the time it takes you to transition, because I mean, honestly, if you're running a 200-yard zero, what are you going to be engaging inside of 200 yards that you're ever going to need magnification on? So I don't feel it's the horse and buggy. I believe it is still one of the best options out there and one of the fastest options for engaging targets. And I know some guys would want to see testing on this, but if we had a good group of people, I'm going to have to take myself out of it because people will say that it's skewed or whatever. But I believe if you took people and put them on a dot and compared that to a scope on a low power variable optic and put them in a bay engaging multiple targets, the dot will win every time.
Well, that one Reaper scope I have has a red dot on top, and I ran the plates with the scope and then ran the plates with the red dot, and the red dot was a hair faster.
Yeah. That is right. We did do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of red dots. If that's what the question was.
Probably wasn't. What is the best? I did that one. EOTech XPS 3. It's so fast for me. I hope I never have a problem with mine. Fresh Vala.
How low or higher in subsonic 300 blackout would you go and why?
Hello.
I've been running 220 grain subsonic, which drops like a freaking rock. But if I'm going to keep it around for home defense, I actually have one mag stacked with supersonic and one with subsonic. Does anybody use Seymours anymore? Absolutely. Okay, so Alaska Andy, you would probably be surprised at how many Seymours are still out there. So the STI DVC, the Seymour, the CTS2, I know the original ones had some issues with battery contacts, but then again, you know, Trijicon or even with the RMR had some issues on the Type 1s to the Type 2s, but they've got that worked out. The Seymour CTS2 is a great dot. It really is. Even some of the bigger ones that look like the Dr. Optics, those are still quite popular
Levi
for open
says
shooters.
experts are saying 2 years lockdown. Oh gosh, that would be unfathomable at this point.
A conservative sniper hunter says, I want to see a video of the ladies in their lives talk about you guys. God, that will never happen.
You're never gonna
Not
get
going to
on
happen.
camera.
My wife will never get on camera.
Hey, we could do the thing like they do where, like, you know, the guys talking against the mafia and it's all like blacked out and they got the voice all.
Oh, yeah,
that
that would work.
That'd be fun.
My husband
is
is always on the range.
He's never. Blah, blah,
My
blah.
wife knew how I was when I met her. Ray, you may be faster with irons when shooting pistols.
Sometimes you are.
Yeah.
Depends how much practice you have.
Yeah, I probably am. I really tried to embrace the whole dot game and everything else. If it's close, I'm going to be faster with irons. There's no doubt. I am very accurate with irons at distance. However, when you put a dot on a pistol, I am faster at distance. We're talking about 50 plus yards on engaging targets with a dot than I am with irons.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it takes less time.
DW says never say never. My wife will never get on this live chat.
Never.
Not gonna happen.
Never say never, never. Yeah, no.
I'm surprised she's put up with me after all these years. Some experts saying
Maybe you
both
might
look like
call
slow
them-
burning candles, very slow
You
feed.
both look like slow burning candles, very slow feed. Oh, it could be. We're trying to get you guys like hypnotized to hit the subscribe button on the new channel.
Hey guys, we've been on here an hour and 7 minutes. I think that's long enough. It's been a great chat. Thanks for everybody for joining. I hope you get over to the R Squared channel.
Hit the thing again.
I think there'll be.
Last chance.
Hold on. Let me post it up one more time. Guys, just look in the comments right there. If you'll go to that new channel, we'd really appreciate you guys subbing. We'll definitely try to get you some good content. We will do a review of that Silencer Co Maxim here soon.
Yeah. And a lot of other stuff.
Yeah. So thank you for joining in. We'll try to get some more long range video posted up. Still not done with that. Still trying to decide on that 6mm versus 6.5 thing. I think I'm going to load up some 6mm Creedmoor and
Get
try to
some
push that.
outlets.
Yeah, 3,100 feet per second. Everybody, thanks for joining.
Thanks,
I really
everybody.
do appreciate it.
Already
Be
there.
safe.
Thank
Stay
you for your
healthy.
time, guys. Have a good one, you guys. Stay safe.
All right. Bye. Have a good one.
Bye.
Whoops.